This is Gravity Circuit, an indie game that immediately looks and feels like the next entry into the 2D Mega Man Classic series. But don't mistake this for a simple clone, as I believe where this game differs from the series it took inspiration from is where it will really stand out as something special. Gravity Circuit's speedy platforming and melee-focused combat could be the key to making this even better than the source material when it comes to PC, Nintendo Switch, and PS4, PS5 later this year. With the demo available on Steam and the game gaining some much-deserved attention at recent gaming conventions such as this year's PAX East, now is a great time to make sure this gem is on your radar. So let's get into the finer details on how this small indie dev team called Domesticated Games is working with publisher Plug-in Digital Games to build a better Mega Man. This is in development, a series where I cover the best upcoming indie games that you need to be aware of, so let's get into it. Now we'll get back to Gravity Circuit in just a minute, but first we have to take a step back and review how we got here. In 1987, the Mega Man series took the world by storm. What followed was an onslaught of sequels, a jump into 16-bit generation of consoles with the X series, a spin-off into the Mega Man Zero games, even dabbling in a well-received tactical RPG series. And there's, everything else.
Let's see how you do against Kung Fu Gatman! Yeah!
But looking back at the original Mega Man series, we've had all new entries with Mega Man 9 through 11. We've had various collections for a lot of these games too. But sadly, some of these have felt like they were hastily thrown together and quick money grabs to sell you a glorified emulator. And now it's been 5 years since Capcom has released a new entry into the classic 2D series. So naturally, we'll have to count on an indie dev team to pick up the slack, and the Gravity Circuit team is up for the challenge. With the game being in development since at least 2018, the devs have been working hard to make this game not just feel like Mega Man, but to make it even better. This is done with faster-paced platforming and melee-focused combat, along with more options to customize your moveset using what's called burst techniques. Throw in some terrific boss fights, bonus objectives hidden in the game's levels, and a currency system to purchase more abilities, and you've got yourself an indie game that's shaping up to be a great time. Let's break these all down with some more detail. Gravity Circuit uses a melee-focused combat system which is a lot closer to Mega Man Zero than the classic Mega Man series. You have no choice but to get in close to your enemies to take them out quickly. In fact, overall this game plays at a fast pace, and it just works really well. Whether it's in the platforming or in the combat, the game keeps you moving. Gravity Circuit takes off the reins by giving you variable movement speed with an included run button, and even introduces a grappling hook to mix up some of the platforming challenges. The grappling hook can even be used on weakened enemies to grab and toss them into another. You even have the old school Mega Man 3 style slide. All this freedom of movement makes it feel so much better to dodge incoming fire and take down enemies quickly. You can get into a nice flow once you get the hang of the controls. Instead of Mega Man's style of earning your new weapons through completing boss encounters, Gravity Circuit gives you these burst techniques. These are varied attacks that range from the spin kick that can stun lock enemies, or even this powerful pile driver. You can equip up to 4 at a time and swap them in and out mid-level as you go. Chaining a few of these attacks together can be especially deadly and incredibly satisfying. These also don't quite work the same way as in Mega Man. Instead of it being ammo-based, it works as a meter recharge by destroying enemies and objects to absorb this energy. There's these booster chips that act as passive upgrades to add another new flavor to the game. These can alter certain things like extending the range of your attacks and increasing hookshot attack damage, allowing for flexibility to adjust the game to your preferred playstyle. Levels are designed pretty well too. They have a good amount of hidden side areas to discover where you can rescue these civilians or find some extra cash for upgrades. This gives the game some nice replayability for those who like to revisit stages to find everything. You'll earn bits, the game's currency, as you take out enemies and find hidden crates. These are used for buying booster chips and burst techniques, giving you more reason to explore these levels thoroughly and take down everything in your path. You'll be blazing through these levels with a banger-filled soundtrack in the background that has a very Mega Man X-like vibe to it. Now that is all great stuff to have in a game that wants to put a refreshing spin on Mega Man's formula, but it gets even better. Where this game really shines is in its boss fights. Just like the levels, these are fast-paced and provide intense action. Because you have more freedom of movement compared to the original 8-bit Mega Man, these are way more satisfying. You have more options for dodging attacks, giving you time to figure out enemy patterns and learn when to attack. The boss fight even escalates halfway through where they suddenly become more aggressive and they start using their own burst-like techniques. These fights offer a solid challenge without feeling unfair. In true Mega Man fashion, you have 8 of these guys to take down, and I suspect we'll see some Dr. Wily-style stages as well. And that's Gravity Circuit in a nutshell. If this sounds like your kind of jam, I put a link in the description for the Steam page where you can try out the demo for yourself and wishlist the game for when it comes out later this year. And if you enjoyed this kind of preview, consider liking this one and watching one of my other videos, and if you subscribe, you can stay up to date on some of the best indie games coming soon, all while supporting me in the process. How nice is that? Thanks in advance if you do, and I'll see you in the next one.